Welcome back to Gemstone Podcast. I am LP. I have Chy and Zack with me. Before we get started, please make sure you go like and share our podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Anchor, Pandora Podcasts, and Amazon Podcasts. As I stated, this is part two of the conversation about HBCUs and the impact they have on the community. Let's get into it. I really got a question. What happened when Deion Sanders went to Jackson State? Tell me.
Deion Sanders, multi-millionaire, that's been rich since the night. Wait. I'm just setting the platform. A multi-millionaire that's been rich since the 80s, who no longer understands the black ploy in life.
What happened at Jackson?
I'm getting there. Okay. I'm just setting the platform up. Once again, you're speaking of people that cannot relate to us.
Deion is a world.
You're bringing up a person that cannot relate to us. Once
Tell
again,
us what happened.
These people cannot relate to us.
Tell me what happened when he went there.
Go ahead, Zach.
Go ahead, Shy, but one at a time, man. Yeah.
Tell me what happened when he went to Jackson State. That's what I just want to know what happened when he went to Jackson State.
He left and went to Colorado.
No, I want to know what happened while he was there. Did anything happen at Jackson State? Did the money get better? Did the budget increase? Did they get more television time? Did student enrollment go up by some percentages? I want to know what happened when he went to Jackson State.
Majority of all that stuff went up.
Okay. When they had a good leader there.
No, because they still have mess ups there. It wasn't about being a leader. And can't even say Deion was a good leader.
The president, him and the president had a fallout behind money, right?
I don't know. I wasn't in the middle of that. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that could be situations that. The still president is this, what I was going to say. I get to my point for me. We're still not at the same level as you can see at PWI, my boy. And I understand your type of knowledge you're trying to spit to the people in the community about how certain things have money for things, but we don't have the realm to be in those conversations because we don't have those money areas. Like I know, like Shy know, like majority of black folks know that we've always been neglected by the banks. So when you say, we don't got enough money for application, even if we had enough money, we still not going to get the same amount of money that PWI is. A PWI president, like you were talking about, is getting paid 2 times more than an HBCU president. I had to look it up because you brought that knowledge to me. May some colleges, may some HBCUs might be making $500,000. I'm not mad at you if you're making the same amount of money as your counterpart. What I'm mad at is why is our schools always lacking? And if you want to tell me that they are not holding funds right, every college ain't holding funds right. We raping our kids that go to these schools to learn information that some people might not even use in the real world. Half our kids don't even go into their degree field. But we still rake them $100,000. My
point is, when you have these individuals who are in these roles, and like you said, I get what you're saying, LP, everybody not on your level of thinking, but these people are. These presidents have the knowledge. These vice presidents have the knowledge. These associate vice presidents have the knowledge. They do.
On a level of thinking. Hold on a second.
They do, because although some presidents at PWI do make 2 times more, right? They get private donations. They get private partnerships and contractual agreements with other organizations. I know a few HBCUs who got multi-million-dollar contracts. I'm telling you, I know. And you don't know where the money's at. The campus still look like a prison. And when you ask the president of finance, the president of the institution, hey, man, what happened to so-and-so? I mean, y'all got that funding. Everybody act like they can't hear. So what I'm saying is, we have opportunities to advance at times, but we don't mobilize, we don't perform effectively. We do what they call, quote unquote, black people. And that's the problem. That's why we still behind. I keep saying these institutions make major decisions. It's the reason why the president of PV stepped down, because they start making major decisions. And then guess what? People within start infiltrating, start lying, start stealing. Same thing as Southern. Those are the 2 most major in Texas. You're right about that, Shot, but there are others as well. And I'm telling you, I've heard these things. And that's one of the prerequisites. I hate to say it, it's a prerequisite to having some type of seat at the table. We have to have some type of embodiment from a higher education level to start advocating effectively. Yeah, some of them got homelessship and some of them do all that, but that's through their fraternities. That's not through the institution. Fraternities have
That's not true.
Man,
That's absolutely not correct.
They have a lineage of finances through their own domains.
Yeah. It's absolutely incorrect.
You always saying it's incorrect, but then
not true.
But I'm telling you, I'm speaking from a majority. I'm not speaking from 100% understanding. Because guess what?
No, you're speaking from a perspective of white racists.
Okay, it's white racist, but okay, I'm speaking from white racist. But I'm speaking from white racist. That's fine. That's your perspective. Either neither here nor there. I'm speaking from.
You know how many programs these HBCUs have for?
I do know how many
neighborhoods they have that are not even going to their schools.
They have upper band program. They have Simon.
You know how many transportation programs they have for seniors. You know how many meals they provide for the community.
That's a small percentage, is what I'm telling you. There are some Jews that can't even provide health care to these people.
That's not a small percentage. HBCUs been doing that stuff since the birth. It's not a small percentage.
Yeah, it's some HBCUs that can't even provide a damn nurse visit to a kid that has the flu on campus. That's a fact.
Name one.
I'm not gonna name them. I'm not gonna name.
And if you say Paul Quinn, that ain't a good resource.
Paul Quinn is actually doing pretty well. I'm not gonna say Paul Quinn. Paul Quinn's actually doing pretty well.
Okay.
You know, I think we understand what you're saying, LP, but I think you're not understanding what we're saying right now. I think we're saying all the same things. PWIs, HBCUs, all do the same exact thing. There's some PWIs that are taking money from the school, but they have more resources behind them to be able to withstand those resources being taken from the school. And HBCUs don't, because they have limited more resources than those PWIs do.
I understand what y'all saying. What I'm telling y'all is they may have limited. So make this make sense. Let's put this in Black people terminology. If I'm broke and I'm struggling to meet ends meet, why would I already know I ain't got that much money, right? Why would I even make it hard on myself and start stealing from the account I don't even have from? So I'm putting myself in a deficit already. Make it make sense. That's what happens. And like I keep saying, I'm not speaking about majority. I'm speaking from a majority aspect. It's a very small percentage of and I'm speaking from my knowledge from some Black HBCU institutions, from some in South Carolina, North Carolina, and the Texas region. And the others I don't have no knowledge about, because I don't know anybody from there. I don't know anybody from their finances team, the executive leadership team, their board of governors, none such as that. But in these other regions, I do. And I'm telling you, it's a very small percentage that does the right thing with the finances. And like I said to you, you can say, I'm not gonna name these institutions. When they come on as a guest, they can name it themselves. But some of these institutions can't even provide a medical visit from a nurse, because guess what? The funds is missing. Now they're trying to partner with other institutions to provide that, but guess what? These institutions, they can't come out for free. They want to make some money. And guess what? Most of these institutions have Black children who don't have insurance, and guess what? They can't bill.
And most of these institutions also have white people with their hands in a lot of their funding. It's not 100% Black staff at these universities, HBCU. None of them.
Another thing I was going to say is a lot of that comes off of personal people. That comes off your people not understanding what your wants and your needs is. So they want that money, so they take money out of it, even though they know they don't need it. So they put them in a deficit because it wasn't a need that they needed in their life or something.
I don't know if y'all noticed, but every HBCU that's adjacent to a PWI is not doing well. Well, not saying that they're not doing well, but they're having these kind of issues. That is not a coincidence that every HBCU that's attached to a PWI has some kind of misappropriation going on. That's not a coincidence. It's deeper than just Black people misappropriating funds. No, it's deeper than that. That is a small percentage of the problem.
But I gave
very small. If I could talk about Southern University, Southern University, Baton Rouge, same thing. They're adjacent of LSU. Black students couldn't go to LSU. Same thing.
I gave you a bone.
It's not Black people problem fault. And then honestly, also, this is a disservice to us as Black people to even speak negatively upon HBCU, especially in this climate that we're in America right now. Especially if things project the way they do, HBCUs may be our only refuge in the next 10 years. So that's a disservice to ourselves as a community to even speak negatively on HBCUs.
Man, I gave you a bone about that when I talked about the president that stepped down at PV. And did I not say it was internal, which means people within PV who started to do backhanded things and then started to misappropriate the funds. And she stepped down and wrote even a letter that was read. It was on Roland Martin podcast, if I'm not mistaken. He read the letter. She wrote and she highlighted in that she told on her the staff that was stealing, and she also told on A&M that supported the people stealing. I think I threw you a bone when I said that. So I think
so you ain't add no more context there.
But I think I threw you a bone though. I didn't want to go in detail.
Well, you don't got to throw me no bone because I already know this story.
I threw a bone because I already said that. That's what
you don't got to throw me no bone. I already know this story about this president. But all I'm saying is that at the end of the day, it ain't black people's fault. I'm always on the black people's side, period.
Was she not a great president? Was she not a great president? She was, yes or no? And Roman went up at that school by
They all great. They all great. But it ain't black people's fault.
Come on, mate.
That's all I'm gonna say. It ain't black people's fault.
Went up, and Roman
it ain't our fault.
Enrollment went up a lot when she was the president there. Their finances increased drastically when she was the president there.
Roman always gonna be up at Prairie View. Come on now.
It went up. No, it went up drastically when she was the president.
Roman's gonna be up.
Programs.
No matter about the president.
Their contracts around partnerships, it even skyrocketed when she was the president. She did a really good job. And for her to step down because of that, it shows that, because guess what? Like I keep saying, they start making some decisions. So guess what? A&M sent somebody over there. Hey man, can y'all start doing this, and this? We'll give y'all some extra money. Yeah, we'll do it. No, have some discipline. That's what I'm saying. See, y'all missing. I'm telling y'all.
Nah, you just switched the whole.
No, I didn't.
You switched the whole thing up. I said that earlier. At first you were pointing the finger at folks. Now you talking about that.
I said if we have more established, prominent black leaders in higher education.
You can't manipulate us, Lance. I'm sorry. You can't manipulate.
No, that's what I said.
You can't manipulate the conversation.
And I'm standing.
You can't manipulate the conversation. You can't.
What, girl? So I manipulate the conversation because I started off saying if we have more HBCU leaders who appropriated funds effectively, maybe we can have those silent organizations, like Zack says, support them. They can start making major decisions in their counties and in their local levels. Then I said a president at PV had stepped down due to internal conflict and misappropriation of funds. Now, I didn't go in detail as to what it was. I just provided that, but I did say they started making decisions in the local county. PV did, because they had a seat at the table. So therefore, that means something had to take place where internal conflict was implemented or strategized, which means A&M or somebody.
But their county majority black.
Or whoever the powers may be.
A&M is not in the same county as PV.
But they're in an adjacent school. PV is associated with Texas A&M.
I'm just saying.
Texas A&M is associated with Prairie View A&M. Yes, they are. So whoever the powers may be, send somebody over there to do whatever they did. We give you some extra money to do this. And they did it. And she stepped down. And she wrote a letter as to why she stepped down. That's what I'm saying. So I think the proof is in the pudding, because decisions started to be made, real change started taking place. And guess what? They got that leader up out of there. And the ones who ain't doing that, they're allowed to stay. That's my beef.
Okay.
I can see it. I mean, there's a lot everywhere.
And the problem is, y'all talking about the PWIs, they presidents, guess what? They are in a conjunction with the governor's office, most likely. And so it don't matter what they do, because they already gonna make sure whatever is being propaganded or being pushed is takes place at the PWI.
But that is part of the problem, though, LP. Like,
hello, that's what we've been saying.
So if that's the problem, if we have more HBCU presidents stand up, like I'm saying, and do like the president did at PV, we'll have a more prevalent seat at the table.
And what happened to her? What happened to her? She's no longer there. She's no longer there. She's no longer there. Some people don't want to risk their livelihood. These people have jobs. They have children. I mean, they have homes. They have children. Everybody's not willing to wish
they had leaders like Malcolm. We had leaders like Martin Luther King. We had
the same damn issue. They ain't even live to be 40.
Goddamn issue. The same goddamn. It's far few in between. Far few in between.
Hold up, though, Shot. That's not the good thing, though. We don't want to be a culture that we just be submissive to what people are giving to us.
And we're not. We've never been submissive.
But when you say they don't step up and take care of ourselves,
I'm saying some of them might not want to because they do not want to hinder their livelihood.
But I'm
not saying it's not right.
Because you rather keep you alive.
Now
I go through that in the workplace all the time. I do that in the workplace all the time. There's a bunch of people that I've worked with in the past and everything like that will not speak up on stuff that is ill or wrong because they have to protect their livelihood and they want to be able to move up further, so they don't want to have no bad reputation or bad image. Like speaking up for people, right, wrong, indifferent, is what you need. Like if you just, a lot of people just keep taking and taking and taking, that's a situation. That's why I was saying earlier, we're not in the same upper echelons as the PWIs are. You'll never be a PWI when you always the sister school to a PWI. We not in the same areas.
Nope. All I'm gonna say is I'm on the side of black people.
You know what I'm saying?
But see that's been my point this whole conversation, and that's why I want to highlight the HBCUs, because of my knowledge of some of the things that were taking place currently in PV. They start making some decisions in that county. Now that, mind you, that was some years back. That's not happening anymore. But when they did start having that progression, guess what? It was some internal conflict that took place. Misappropriation of funds, and the president that was currently there, she said, hey, I'm out. I'm not doing this. We're trying to progress. We're trying to do this. We're trying to do that. And y'all are fighting against me, and now it's affecting my health in some aspects. And I have too much. If I'm not mistaken, I have to find a letter. But in the letter, she said she has done too much for the black people. And mind you, she comes from a PWI. She was the president at a PWI. She went to a HBCU and implemented everything the exact same. That's what I'm saying. So when you said that, yeah, we know that's conforming. Yes, that's all I'm saying. The presidents that do not, the vice presidents, the presidents of finance that are not conforming, we need more of that, but we don't have it in HBCU, because guess what? If they throw them a little extra change, your problem solving fund budget, you can have all of it. Oh, for real? I can have that whole 100,000, and they take it and don't do nothing. And we wonder why we can't have progression, because we have no discipline. And that goes back to the Section 8 conversation. I agree with it. You should not be on Section 8 your whole damn life. That's discipline. Work the program. Same conversation. Same conversation with it. It's damn near mirrors each other. If we had HBCUs that stood,
I don't want to cut you off, brother, real quick though. You said something about the Section 8 thing, and that one's hard for me to agree with you on for not being.
Did you hear the last episode?
I got on it a little bit, but I didn't want to get too deep into it. But there's some things you can't help with. Like there's some people that don't. All they have is a high school degree, and they're not going to be able to make
or maybe
over $30,000 or $40,000 a year. And like I know, and everybody in America listen to this podcast know, $30,000-$40,000 a year ain't giving your ass nothing.
Work the program.
What program?
What program?
What program? You know what? Like I said,
program. They got a program.
No, case manager. Like I said, ideology comes from
tell you this, though.
Whiteness, right? Oh, go ahead, Lele.
But I'll tell you this, Sean. If they do get rid of Section 8, it ain't gonna hurt us more than it's gonna hurt them. More than on Section 8 than it is us.
Who in it? I don't care. You're black, white, whatever.
Here's the thing about it, though.
I know, but sometimes they try to get rid of stuff like that. They feel like, oh, it's gonna affect that culture,
that was my point.
But in actuality, it's going to affect them more because there's more of them on food stamps.
Or it's going to hurt the economy.
Section 8, there's more of them on these other properties.
This is what I said last week.
It's going to hurt the economy terribly.
I was on there, it's going to have to hurt the black people nonsense. I said, it don't matter who it hurt. What it's going to hit is these budgets and these local county levels, because that's money. And I talked about HUD, because HUD is associated with Section 8. And also HUD is also associated with the homeless project, when they provide funds for the homeless recuperative cares and all these other homeless projects that they have in the United States of America. Like I said, Trump is attacking the internal government. I've said this 100 times. If he hit the pockets, because most of these budgets in every county level, guess they got $100 million missing, $200 million missing, $300 million missing. How you got $300, $200, $100 million missing out of a budget? That don't make sense. It can't add up.
Here at Harris County, got $200 million missing.
Hold on. You got fake people on spreadsheets and budgets and salaries. Who is this person? But they getting $571,000 a year. But we've never seen them. No one's ever seen this person. But they're on the budget. So Trump is smart. Like I keep saying, if you want to create chaos, hit the budgets. That's what he's doing. Well, guess what Section 8 is? It's on the budget. Guess what Section 8 has? It has programs. You're supposed to be with a case manager. They provide you with resources, assist you with appointments, assist you with getting jobs, assist you with trying to progress and not stay on Section 8 for a long period of time. But guess what? Nobody's working the program. So guess what? That money goes missing. Some deputy director, some director, some capital projects director has now pocketed that money for years. Guess what Trump said in his administration? Let's just cut the whole damn program. Now, Section 8. No, this is bad. We need Section 8. No, don't. Because y'all ain't been using the money no way. We got all these programs. Ain't nobody been using the money no way. If you don't use the money, guess what they do? Something called an audit. Zach, you know this, and sometimes they do something called a forensic audit, because the forensic audit really tracks the money. Then you get a breaking news story, so-and-so is stepping down from their position, because guess where the money was going? To their pocket. So Trump said, I'm tired. Trump and his team said, I'm tired of hearing of so-and-so stepping down after 3 years when they do a damn audit. Let's just cut the money. Unfortunately, people gonna get hurt. People gonna die. Crime's gonna increase. Judification on youth is gonna increase. But now he's telling the local government and the state, figure it out. Y'all had this money for 10, 15 years. You telling me now you ain't got no money?
Because I know you with public health. I'm in public health at this moment. And I know Chy worked in public health sometimes in her career. As working in public health, and you talk to people in the community, we all know that they don't know about some of the programs, because some of the programs are not advertised that you can come get these money and get these programs to help you. So a lot of this money just stays there and gets pocketed and used for other things, because nobody knows where to go get the program in. All we know is where to go get stamped and all that stuff. That's why our community and our public health program, we have connectors. We put people in contact with people how to get help in Medicaid, Medicare, food stamps. Gold Card in Harris County that helps you pay for your insurance if you don't have. Gold Card in Harris County is a card that gives you insurance to Harris County hospitals, so you can go to the hospital and not have to worry about not having insurance. You can still go get checked out. It's a new name now. It ain't Gold Card no more, but these.
Oh, it is? What's it called, Zach?
Huh?
What's it called?
I looked the name up, but they changed the name from Gold Card. It's not that no more, because they wanted to make it more representative or whatever, a better name for it. It's just long as head now. But these programs are not pushed. So when programs aren't pushed, you do have situations like you're saying, LP, where money is sitting there and money is getting stolen because there's nobody there to take the money no more or utilize the money in the community. There's 100 million programs out here. Matter of fact, like I know, because you file for grants from the government all the time. How many grants the government sends out and never get utilized the proper way?
That's my point. That's been my entire point. So you just verified everything.
But that's your point. But we ain't gonna blame the black people. That's what. That's my point.
It's not about.
You ain't gonna blame the black people for being internalized and institutionalized racism. These people that are on Section 8 that's been there for 20, 30 years, they're still slaves. This internalized racism that has to be debunked through generations. It is not going to take a couple of generations of us being successful to redirect what has been done to us. It's much deeper than somebody living off the system and enjoying the benefits. It's a lot deeper than that.
Okay. It ain't about black people. I didn't say nothing about black people. Now we transitioned to the Section 8 conversation, but Section 8 ain't got nothing to do with black
people. You showed it.
I didn't say nothing about black people. I said this is about money. This is about internal conflict with the government, because that's what Trump's goal is in his administration, to create chaos within the inner governments. If I cut off the funding, now you have to figure it out. Because guess what? These programs that you mentioned down there, guess who can support them? The state government. But guess where the state government is getting their funding from? The federal government. See, Trump's smart. He didn't hit the state government. He hit the feds. He said, I'm going to hit y'all money. Y'all can't give these people no money no more. And if you do give it to them, it got to come with some real strict restrictions. Now, you have state who can't even support county programs. See, that's the difference. You have county programs, you have state-funded programs, but the state always supposed to fund the county programs. How it's been happening, the federal government's been funding county programs, and that's the back opposite. Where that $100 million go? Where that $300 million go? Where that $400 million? Where that $500 million? That's half a bill. Where the 500 at? Yeah, they ain't pushing the program because ain't nobody been working the damn programs. If you in Section 8, you supposed to get a case manager to assist you not to come and police you to kick you out of damn Section 8, but to support you and provide you with external resources to get you some type of sustainable living. I said this in the previous episode, though.
I'll keep it a buck with you, Ken Folk. I need Section 8 to stay around. I'm trying to give me a couple Section 8 houses, Ken.
I'm telling you, he gonna
get that government check every month.
This is what I said. If it stays, it's gonna have strict guidelines. If you got a job, you can't work out your house. You can't. It's gonna be things like that. It's gonna have very strict guidelines. I'm telling you.
That's guidelines you have is not
gonna. I'm gonna push it back. I'm gonna push it, but I'm gonna say this like I said last week. I feel like health science centers, which is a higher education institution, should have more input on what the community needs on a local level. If they do, because they have the bandwidth and they have the professors and the research to conduct the community needs assessments and then develop the programs to best support the needs of the people. And today I said, if we have more HBCUs that are more sustainable and now start making more local decisions, and I hinted at PV was starting to make local decisions, we can have some sustainability. And if we have those quote unquote behind the scenes organizations, they can support us. But I was told I was manipulating the conversation. It sounds like I know what I'm talking about because I probably didn't see the shit.
Nah, you were manipulating that part. You manipulated toward the end of the conversation when you try to mix it up a little bit. But see, we actively listening. But go ahead.
I linked it all together because that's all. Anytime I'm speaking on here, I'm speaking to advance the people. Just like we talked about the one who was hurting the babies. Y'all talking about get a check. I said, no, get some policy in place. Go down there and march on Capitol Hill and get a bill put in place. So like that don't happen.
Yeah.
I think we were saying the same thing at the beginning, but we were just not on the same level until we got to later. Because like I think I was saying something she was saying, like we just never gonna be on the same level.
Was like, nah, they don't got the funding. They don't got the funding. They don't got the funding.
We don't have the funding because we not in the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. That's my point. It's not the same.
Like we can't have the same funding when PWIs have.
We're not the same. I agree.
We have a door to the government.
We still got a lot of work to do. Like we have a lot of internal work. We also have a lot of systematic racism work to do. But you know, I appreciate all of y'all, both y'all perspective. We definitely need different perspectives.
I agree. We don't all have the same. I agree that we have more work to do. But my point is, how can we progress when we have the internal conflict that's taking place at these HBCUs to make these sound decisions? That's my whole point.
So why don't you come up with a plan and maybe you can sell it to the HBCUs? You come up with a solution plan and then
more sustainable. But first we got to get good leaders in these positions. What's the point of having a good plan? You ain't got a good leader that's gonna work it.
We already off topic, so I want to ask this question to y'all, both of y'all right now, and I'll jump into on my own question. Since we on the topic of HBCUs and how we can better them. Excuse me, sorry about that. If you was a president at HBCU, what would you do differently to help the situation?
Start trying to apply for some grants for tier 1, R3, R4 research to save the money for the application so we can start having a seat at the table and fight and get more pharmaceutical programs on campus, get more nursing programs on campus, then develop a health science center strategic plan project, partner with local hospital organizations, also partner with social science organizations like mental health, social workers, et cetera, and start trying to, because the thing is we have to expose these students to the field. So working with the underserved population, okay, let's get a contract with a cooperative care center. Let's get a contract with a FQHC, Federal Qualified Health Center, that serves the underserved population, which most of these students come from that go to HBCUs. Let's get a contract with some NIL deals, because guess what? The NIL deals that come, most of the institutions have contracts with those organizations anyway. That student athletes that come on, they just get interviewed and then they're picked to get the NIL deals. So let's get some of that going. Let's start recruiting some high performing athletes. Let's get athletics off the ground. I mean, it had to be a 10-year plan, because you're gonna have to hit athletics, you're gonna have to hit enrollment, you're gonna have to hit contracts, you're gonna have to start applying for different R3, R4 research platforms to advance the institution.
How I would do it would be part of like a 20-year plan, and mine would be focused on athletics. I would push athletics hard. I would work on getting major corporations with us, having sponsorships without the boohoo of, so we'll have more NIL money for our kids and letting them know that it's cool and it's fun and it's better to be at HBCU. I will push that narrative because the money's going to come from athletics. Unfortunately, it's the fact. We see how NCAA has made billions off of football, basketball, baseball, etc., etc. So I'm pushing that. I'm pushing media contracts for having our games on their TV shows and everything. So that money will feed back into the organization. And then that money from the organization can develop and build the rest of the school. And then, as you say, with the researches and stuff like that, will be something I would probably do next. I would need to have those embedded so we can start to develop our engineering programs, our Medicare programs, our not Medicare, our health programs, and all these other programs. So we can be accredited more. And I would definitely, my biggest thing would be is I'm going to break away from the PWI. I have to break away from that system. We need to be able to stand on our own, and we can't stand on our own always underneath somebody else.
You're gonna have to develop alumni donations too. You're gonna have to do that's why I'm saying a 10-year plan. And I'm only saying a 10-year plan because 20, I feel like you'll lose sight because then turnover take place. Somebody might pass away, somebody may die. Within 10 years, you have the ability of doing that.
I think we don't, bro, because we still have to build. Because even if I do it like the way I was saying the athletics, you have to build that new stadium to make money come into the stadium.
Don't even build a stadium yet. Build up the program first, and then let the contracts that you're going to get from the program to build the stadium. You got to make the money work for you.
Easier said than done because people want to come to a nice, like, we trying to sell suites and sell stuff like that. Them suites is what makes our money, not them seats.
No, what you can do is you can pay for like a small what they call it, add-ons. Like add-on, like you ain't got to build a stadium. You can spend like the football stadium that you have now, you can pay for small add-ons, and in the future that'll be the soccer stadium while you're preparing to build your football stadium here in 5 years. But right now that's just your small add-on. And so now we're developing the program, we're building, now we're getting more money. Now we got small TV deals, small streaming deals, maybe a small ESPN deal. That's good because now we can use that money to allocate where we're going to build our new stadium. But we had to do this small little add-on, add in like some benches, a nice concession stand, spend maybe 20, 30,000. Don't go over 75. Do that.
You're spending more than that though. Like
no, not with some smaller. No, not with small add-ons. Now, my type of money you talking about, you might as well buy a whole new stadium. But a lot of these HBCUs have decent stadiums already. Some of the football ones.
Some do, some don't. Some of them, some high schools in Texas are better than some of these schools' stadiums.
Because they got good, like I said, donors. So you're going to have to develop that donor. So your vice president going to have to really, of student services and enrollment management, is going to have to really, you're going to have to get a good, strong one to have that alumni support to get those donations from alumni and then other donor relations. The president don't do that. That's your vice president of student enrollment and engagement. The president creates the vision, and they sit with the board of governors and also with local politicians and local authority who makes decisions in the county. That's what the president do. They sit and discuss with them the vision of what we gonna do with this institution. The people under the president, he or she tells them what needs to be done, coaches them up, give them a plan, and they execute it. So whoever is going to be your vice president of sports relations or your athletic director, they're going to have to be strong when it comes to recruitment. They're going to have to be strong in getting these partnerships. They're going to have to be strong in getting that. That's what I'm saying. 10 years is going to be great. Think about SMU, right? Now that's a PWI, but they had the ban from the scandal that took place many, all them decades ago. But now they're back on a big stage again, right? They're back on TV. They're back being ranked. The track team always been clutch. They got a girls track team. They always clutch. They got other sports that are doing really well. But guess what? Once they got a new person that took over athletics about I think 10, 15 years ago. That 10-year plan took place. Now they look where they at. That's what I'm saying. A 10-year plan for each division, because you have different divisions in an institution. So each division needs a 10-year plan. Sports, that can be one division that you focus on, but all of it needs to be in alignment with their 10-year plan. And I really want to, that's why I said them NIL deals, Z, because that's going to get them athletes there. A lot of these great athletes are good. They go to these other big institutions because of the NIL leverage. That's what Dion had. He had that NIL leverage. He good with Nike. He good with Gatorade. He good with Under Armour. He good with Sprite. He good with double mint gum. He good with the little shades people, with the little whistles. He good with what's the jury people, the JL, whatever they is. He good with them. So his athletes was getting NIL deals with them. So that's how he was able to turn top 5 recruit from Alabama to go to Jackson State. Come on over here, bro. You don't get $1 million. You got to have the deals. Same thing when it comes to these medical programs. Once you start getting these professors in these contracts agreements with these local health entities, when I graduate, I got a job. I've been doing my rotations here for the last 2 years, so I'm good. They know me over here. I can apply and get a job. They love me over here. That's the goal. That's how Black America gets back. What you said that Charlie guy said, they had it better back then because they had this. That's how we get that in this time. But we just don't have it. And like I keep saying, one institution was heading that direction, but the woman had to step down.
What do you think, Chy, baby? How would you, if you was president of HBCU, what would you do differently? Or what would you do?
From my experience with attending the HBCU and, all the stuff that I was in the news, especially around housing, financial aid, even the experience I had. I didn't have that much of a pleasant experience in the beginning when I first went to HBCU because I started at PWI. So what I would do, I probably would restructure a lot of their processes first, as far as how they do things. Work on the customer service to the students, because in the day without the students, you don't up and run. So I noticed that TSU has implemented a lot of things to make campus life and housing life better for their students. So kudos to them. But that's what I would start there in the departments that need the most attention. Most likely that's going to be housing and financial aid, because the academic departments, most of them are. I would start there. A lot of the students are waiting. This is a very much of a plague on HBCUs, is that the students have to wait and wait and wait. The housing it's not ready yet, or we still looking for you something. Or I feel like they need to start, especially before the academic year starts. Maybe the main 2 seasons of school is fall and spring, right? So they probably need to start the process of getting the students somewhere to live, making sure their financial aid is taken care of. They need to start there probably in May, when those students, especially those new grads, are graduating high school and coming to college for the first time. They should have a deadline as far as, like, let's say June the 25th. If you exceed this deadline, you run the risk of maybe potentially having delays. I think that they start a little bit earlier, opposed to you knowing where you're gonna stay at when you get there. You know what I'm saying? Or like a month before. I think that if they start a little bit earlier, that would help organize a lot better. You won't have students that's getting hotel vouchers. So yeah, you won't get students that's living in hotels or living off of vouchers, or having different vouchers for food assistance and things of that nature, if you kind of organize a little bit earlier. Also, bring in people that's actually accredited. Like, they need to do more thorough background checks, because I remember, now it wasn't an HBCU, but it was a president at this school, and this lady didn't even have a degree. All her documents was forged, from her bachelor's to her master's to her doctoral. She had a PhD in something. All of that documents was fraud. Like, they, you know what I'm saying, she was not even hadn't even been to college. And this woman had bounced around from different states, Louisiana, Texas. I think she ended up in, was it Maryland or somewhere? I forgot where she ended up at. But she went to prison too. But I mean, she passed through the system, not even being accredited, and she wasn't even at HBCU. So it starts there too, like making sure that the people that you hired has the credentials to be there, has the proven track record to success, and don't have backgrounds that will potentially come up and be a hazard. I think that's the first 3 steps they could do to improve. And I'm talking about all colleges, not just HBCU.
Well, I think that's great. I think everyone has a great plan. I think, you know what I think we should do? You know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to have a guest on from HBCU that's the vice president, or I'm going to hit up some people that I know. We're gonna touch on this subject again. I know we were supposed to talk about what's taking place in our country with the Charlie the individual who lost his life due to being, shot in the neck. We took a left turn because I brought up the HBCU, so it's really my fault why we took a left turn. But what I want to do, I want to bring someone on our podcast that's actively serving as an esteemed position at a HBCU, an executive role of a position, so we can discuss this more. Because I think that our listeners and our fan base deserve to not only hear from us, but they should also hear from somebody who's in that environment, in that landscape daily. It's coming. When coming soon, we're gonna have someone. I don't know where they're gonna be from, but it's gonna be one of these. He's gonna be from one in Texas or one from North Carolina, South Carolina for sure. I'm gonna hit up some of my colleagues and peers that I've built rapport with over the years. I'm gonna invite them on this show, and we're gonna talk about this subject right here. We're gonna talk about what role does HBCUs play in the Black community.
Well, that's it for this podcast segment today, guys. We hope y'all enjoyed our little rant we went on to. Sometimes we get like that. Sometimes topics get so passionate and so involved with us, we just get to going. But I hope you was able to take away from this conversation. Hope you was able to take away some type of knowledge from what we said or some type of gems from what we dropped for y'all guys today, and able to use these in your organization, your schools, your health communities, your whatever you need to use them for. I hope you're able to use them. But we're gonna sign out with that. Y'all know where to follow us. We on Apple Podcasts, we on Spotify Podcasts, we on Amazon Podcasts. You can find us almost anywhere you want to. Just type in Gemstones Podcast and you're gonna find us. You can reach out to us on Instagram at Gemstones Podcast. You can reach out to us on our email and send a fan letter so we can talk about that here soon. We ain't talked about our fan letters in a while, so keep sending that stuff to us so we can talk about y'all soon. We got some stuff we're gonna come up with y'all. Email is going to be gemstonespodcast@gemstones.com. Once again, that's gemstonespodcast@gmail.com. After that, we're signing out. Y'all have a good one, y'all. Love y'all, man. Keep going strong, Gems.